Do you want to be able to create I Spy printables the same as the ones I have in my Creative Fabrica store, such as this one that is constantly receiving 5-star reviews and it is being favored all the time? Or maybe you are interested in do-a-dot like this one and you want to be able to create them effortlessly inside PowerPoint. Stick around because that is what I'm going to show you in this video. Let's start. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marina from Marina Art Design and you are watching second tutorial for my new PowerPoint add-in, where I'm going to showcase the shuffler's features on an actual printable projects you can create. I strongly advise that you watch the first tutorial before this one. It will be linked somewhere on the top of this video. I also mentioned there that you will get PowerPoint presentations already prepared for you to start creating puzzles the moment you purchase the shuffler. In this video, I'm going to show you how to prepare the puzzles using those presentations and also explain the logic behind the shuffler's code so you can create your own unique custom puzzles. So this is one of those presentations you will get. It is called PPT for Shuffler. So that is the name of the file. Now this slide here is a slide for a puzzle with one word. So one word puzzle. I will go here and I have a drop menu that gives me options between 1 to 12 words. Now if I select one word, insert new words, I will have this menu. I'm going to click on word game and I'm going to type I don't know, let's try Christmas, and let's try exclude letter S. So I want this word as a puzzle without letter S, and I'm going to click generate, and as you can see here I have all the letters from the word Christmas without the letter S appearing here. If I want this to look a little bit different, I'm going to click on generate and the letters are going to move around. Once I'm happy, I can close this down. I can duplicate this slide, or if I want to create another puzzle, not this one but another one with the same word and the same letter being excluded, I can click on this button that says shuffle on this slide. So if I click on this one, you see I can continue to generate new puzzles. So I can duplicate this slide as much as I want, and then I click shuffle on all slides and I'm going to have as many puzzles as I created the slides. So let's go to this slide here. So this slide here is for 2 words. So I have 1, 2 words. So that means from the drop menu I need to select 2 words. But let's say what will happen if I make a mistake and I select 1 word. So obviously this slide is not for 1 word, it is for 2 words. So I'm going to click insert new words, word game. You see it is only giving me 1. So I'm going to type one more time. Oh, let's say orange. Let's type orange, letter to exclude O, and let's see what's going to happen. It is giving me this error. Please select accurate slide. So that means this slide is not for 1 word. I selected 1 word, but the slide is for 2 words. So that means I need to go back here, and from the drop menu I need to select 2 words. And now I can insert new word, word game, orange, and Christmas, and they all both have letter R. I want letter R to be excluded. Generate. Here I have orange without letter R, and here I have Christmas without letter R. And the same thing until I'm happy. I can click it here. If I close it and I still want to change, I can click on this one, shuffle on this slide. By using that same logic, you have for 4 words, 5 words, 6 words, all the way up to 12 words. And then you have the same thing, same slide as before for 2 words. So I have, see from the drop menu, 2 words, insert new word, word game, letter to exclude R, orange, and Christmas. Generate, you see I have orange here, Christmas here, and they are both missing letter R. Close it. You will get flowers. All of these flowers are drawn by me, so you can use them commercially, no issues about that. Also, that is the same for ornaments. So this is ornament puzzle, once again with 2 words, so we can repeat that now. Let's type Christmas and let's type ornament, and they both have M, so I'm going to exclude letter M and generate. So you see here we have Christmas without the M, and here we have ornament without the M. And this image as well is drawn by me, so I'm giving you a full commercial rights. You can use them in your printables. The only thing, of course, that you cannot do is you cannot extract this image and sell it alone as an image. I believe that's just logical. I don't even think I supposed to make a note of that. I believe that's just pure logic, but you can use it commercially without any issues in your printables, digital files, any way you want. And this is a Christmas tree with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. So from the drop menu, let's try the Christmas tree, 5 words, insert new words. And now I need to come up with 5 words. Let's see, can I do that? Orange, Christmas, ornaments, presents, what else? I want to type mistletoe, but I have no idea how to spell that. So what can we do? Come on, 5th word. I'm missing a 5th word here. Sorry. Let's do I don't know, let's do Christmas again, because I am having a writer's blockage. So they all have R, I believe. Yes, they all have R. So of course the letter to exclude needs to appear in all words, otherwise it's not going to work. So let's click generate. So we have orange here, Christmas here, ornaments here, presents here, and then Christmas back again here. And let's click generate one more time to make them move around. And that is how you generate the puzzles with the word. Now I'm going to switch to, in fact, I'm going to make a brand new presentation. So brand new clean presentation that is not pre-prepared. So file, new blank presentation. So now I have completely blank presentation. I'm going to delete this from the slide. I'm going to cheat a little and I'm going to use puzzle generator from Luke Baus to get my proper US letter dimension. Now I have a completely blank presentation and I have shuffler. So what can I do now? Can I create any puzzles now with a completely blank slide? I cannot, but let's start inserting things. Let's insert this shape. Let's change the shape outline to 3, black, shape fill white, and the text to be black. There is no text inside, but I want it to be black. And also I'm going to set the font. Let's find a cute font. Arial black, that's a big one. And let me open selection pane so I can see the name. As you can see, the name of this shape that is originally imported from the insert tab is a very long rectangle rounded corners tree. I'm going to delete that and I'm going to type kiwi. It doesn't matter, you can type any short word that you want. I'm just going to type kiwi. And now I'm going to press Ctrl D and duplicate this shape 15 times, I hope. If I make some extra, it doesn't matter. Now what I'm going to do is something that you can also do, because the system that I'm using is free. You see this design tools menu. It is from this software called iSlide. iSlide, this is completely free. You have premium version and you have a free version. This section here is included in the free version. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these. I'm going to align them in the middle, and I'm going to distribute them horizontally. And I see now that there is still no separation between them, so I'm going to do that again. And now I have some room. I'm going to do that with another section as well. Let's see. So I'm just selecting batch of these, align middle, distribute horizontally. Too many. Let's move this one aside because I want to have them all visible, and that's it. Okay, the rest is not important. So I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. So these two can go. I can delete them, and they are all named Kiwi. So because they're all named Kiwi, I cannot use them, I cannot do anything with them. But what I can do is I'm just going to duplicate one as a backup, and I'm going to call this one text. That's the name of this one, and I'm going to mark it with a different color so you can see that it is a different shape. It's not, the color is not important. I just want you to know that this is a different shape with a different name. Now what I need to do is, if I do not have a shuffler, I need to do this manually. But because you do have a shuffler, you're going to select all these shapes, and you're going to go to shuffler, rename shapes. So the old name is Kiwi. It doesn't matter. It is just that it's some short name, so you don't have to type too many letters. And the new name is going to be word 1. That's it, word 1. And we're also going to click add number increments, and I'm going to click OK. And you see now every single shape that we have here is now named word 1 1, word 1 2, word 1 3, and that's it. That is for what Shuffler is looking when it's generating the puzzle. So as you can see, I just created this slide. It is not slide that came with a pre-made PowerPoint presentation. And I'm going to click on choose word count, 1 word, insert new words, word game, Christmas, and letter to exclude R. So what's going to happen now? Let's click on generate. You see what is happening? It is asking me, please select accurate slide. Okay, so let's click on this, That is the role of this box. Inside this box has a name text. You need to have a number, any number between 1 and 12, because that is how many words we can have, 1 and 12. So if I type 1 here in this shape, if I type 1, let's do this again. Drop menu, 1 word, insert new word, word game, Christmas, letter to exclude age, let's do the age now, and click generate. And do you see what is happening in the back? We have the puzzle. This is how Shuffler puzzle feature works. It is searching for 15 text boxes that have a name word 1 1, word 1 15, and all the numbers in between, and it is looking for this box, text box, with a number. This box tells him how many words are on the slide, and these boxes are boxes where he's going to place all the letters randomly. That means that you can create your own shapes. It can be any shape. You can place them wherever you want. You can have any drawing in the back. You can have any frame you want. The slide can be in any shape. So everything is completely custom, done by you. You can change fonts, it doesn't really matter. You can change the fonts, you can change the size, you can do whatever you want, it will work. If you do not want to have this visible anywhere on the slide, you can do two options. You can either click on the eye here on the selection pane, you can click on the eye to make it invisible, and if you do not want to have it at all on a slide, just move it outside of the slide, it will still recognize it. So let's try this again. Let's go to the shuffler menu, one word, insert new word, word game, orange, letter to exclude N, generate. As you can see, it is creating our puzzle in the back. So that is the logic of the shuffler puzzle feature. It needs to have text, it needs to have this text name shaped with a number inside. This number tells him how many words is on this slide, and then he needs to have 15 text boxes with this specific name, word 1 For more words it would be word 2 word 3 and so on. 15, maximum 15. So if I delete 15, it will not work. If I delete any of these, it's not going to work. If I delete text, it's not going to work. He needs text, shuffler needs text to know how many words, what is this slide for, and then for each word it needs to have 15 boxes to place 15 maximum letters. So if I go back to this presentation, you will see here on the right that I have, you see, when I'm clicking, let's hold Control as we select everything that belongs to word 1. So now I have selected, and you see here I'm going to turn them red. So you see they're all here. Every box that belongs to the word 1 is here, and then you have word 2, that's here, word 3, 4. So the names of the shapes are the ones that are important. If you change the name or if you delete one of the shapes, it is not going to work. Everything else, so this is not important, this is not important, the frame, the image, none of this affects the puzzle feature of the shuffler. That means that you can create whatever you want. It can be completely unique, theme, drawing, type of the puzzle, everything is completely up to you. Now, the next thing that is important to understand is how these buttons that are for shuffling actually working. So what are they actually doing? On this slide, I have 3 shapes that have name kiwi, kiwi, kiwi. So whatever you see written in the shape, that is the actual name of the shape. And I have 3 boxes that have name yes 1, yes 2, yes 3. And then I have the box with the no. So what is going to happen if I click shuffle on this slide? If I was doing a puzzle, let's go back to puzzle, shuffle on this slide, you see it is moving everything that belongs to a puzzle. What is going to happen on this slide where I have nothing that remotely is connected to any puzzle? Shuffle on this slide, and I don't know, can you notice? But yes, 1, 2 and 3 are moving around. You see 3 is now here, shuffle 2 is now here, but kiwi is staying on their spot. Yes or Y and no are also staying on their spot. The only thing that is changing are shapes with the same name and number next to it. So what is going to happen if I just for one shape of the kiwi I add number? So now kiwi is one of the shapes that has number, and I'm going to click on the same, you see, I'm clicking on the same button. You see now kiwi is also being affected as well, just because I added this number, because now the code is looking for everything that has a similar name and at least one of the shapes has a number next to it. but no and Y are still not affected at all. This button is the same as this one, but this one works on multiple slides. So if I click this one, it is going to do the same thing on all selected slides. While contrary to the first two, this button, if I select this button is shuffling whatever I have selected. It is ignoring their size, their type, their name. So whatever I have selected, regardless what they are, it will be shuffled. So by that logic, what I just explained to you, now between Kiwi and Yes, we will see some movement. So if I click, you see now Kiwi and Yes are moving around. So by that logic, if I select everything, now these two will also be included. So let's see, you see now Y and No are also being shuffled because I'm using the button that is shuffling everything that is selected. So we have shuffle everything that has a similar name plus number on one slide. Shuffle everything that has a similar name plus number on all slides. And these two buttons are ignoring the shape that do not have a pair. So if any of the shapes has a pair, it will be shuffled, moved around. If they do not have pair, they will not be touched. This one shuffles whatever you have selected on a slide, regardless of the name, shape, or anything. And then on the back here, we have this button that is swap all. This button is swapping everything that you have on slide. It is completely ignoring the name, the size, the color, the shape, everything. It is just randomly swapping everything. So if I click on this one, that means I do not have to select everything on the slide. I can just click on this and all shapes will be shuffled. So let's see what's going to happen on this one. Swap all. You see, all shapes get moved around, swapped completely randomly. Now, what is the usage, main usage of this button, and of course these buttons as well? Around months ago, 1 month ago or 2 months ago, somebody in my Facebook group asked me how did I created my iSpy printables that I'm selling on Creative Fabrica. Now I used macro until a couple of weeks. I used macro for shuffling the objects on the slide, but now of course I have this shuffler conveniently on top of my menu. So what do I have here? Before I started to record this tutorial, I did some research for you, and I was trying to find a website with icons that you can use completely free and commercially. I discovered two websites that had good quality vector images, because it is good that the images are SVG. So all of these shapes, icons are SVG files. So that is important to note, SVG files. And I contacted the owner of both websites, and I'm just going to share you because this is interesting. So this is UX Wing website. Now let me read, I know you can read, but let me read this to you. Exclusive collection of free icons, download for commercial projects without attribution. So if you understand English, you understand that sentence. Also here, yes, all icons are free to download and use. Personal, commercial projects without any attribution. So by using your knowledge of English language and your knowledge of what free means, commercial project means, without any attribution means, you would think that you can actually use these icons in your commercial projects free without attribution, because that is what is written here. But you cannot. you cannot. I contacted the owner of this website and I showed him example. So I showed him my iSpy printables. I gave him the link to my Shuffler program, and I asked him, okay, can I use this like this? Can I give my subscribers and my followers the link to your website so they can use the images? And his answer was no. Now I'm not going to show you his answer on his email, but in short, you cannot use them. You need to attribute them. You need to, I don't know what, but the short answer is that you cannot use this website for commercial projects. And this is why it is very important that you just don't read things blindly from the site, that you also ask a question. And when you are asking questions, so when you are using these contact forms, when you are sending email, do not send them, can I use icons? Yes, no. Send them automatically in the first email. Send them info, where you plan to sell them, how you plan to sell them. Send them sample of the product you plan to sell them, so they have all the informations and they can give you the best proper answer. So this one you cannot use. This the owner of this website, SVG repo, he replied that yes, everything that I described in my email. So I sent him my iSpy printables. I told him that I'm selling on Creative Fabrica, Etsy, and similar stores. I told him that the products are digital products being downloaded by people using them in their books and printable projects, and also that my design is flattened, so they cannot extract individual icons unless of course they're using some scanning software or turning drawing into vector, which is basically stealing. So if somebody is going to steal, they're going to steal. It's not like you can prevent that without putting watermark. But once again, if they purchase and they want to resell it, you cannot stop them, because when they purchase, they do not get the file with the watermark. The watermark is removed. So if you want to create iSpy printables using icons, I suggest SVG repo. You can also, just to be safe, you can also contact and share your sample once you have the sample ready, just to be safe. But here I am telling you that I contacted him and he replied that you do not have to attribute, everything is free to use. You can use them in your commercial projects. Of course, logically, you cannot resell them as they are. So you cannot just download this icon here, download this icon and then sell it on Creative Fabrica or on Etsy. So that's just pure logic is telling you that that is not something that you can do. But you can make this a part of your design, and if it's a part of your design, that is allowed usage. You do not have to attribute them, but if you want, that is highly appreciated. So you see, but we would very much appreciate if you add icons by svgrepo.com. There is absolutely zero cost to you when you do that, and there is, in my opinion, there is no reason for you to hide this. It is just a good policy. Okay, so let's go back to presentation. This is also presentation that will be included in the way you see it right now when you download the Shuffler. Now I need to, this is going to maybe going to be hard for someone to follow, so just please sit down, focus and listen, because now we need to combine all the knowledge that we learned so far about the Shuffler into these 3 slides. Now, I have these icons, and now that I have selected them all, I can see here on the right that each of these icons have a unique name. If they all have a unique name, what's going to happen if I click Shuffle on this slide? So what is going to happen if I click this? Do you see anything happening? There is nothing wrong with your video. Nothing is happening because this button is shuffling everything on a slide that has a similar or same name with the number. Nothing on this slide. I can click as much as I want. Nothing's going to happen because nothing here has the same or similar name. Now, if I want to shuffle these icons around, I have two options. Either I can change their name to be similar name, or option number 2 is I'm going to use this button here, swap all, the button that is ignoring the name of the shapes. Or of course I can use shuffle selected. So let's select these shapes, shuffle selected, and now you can see some movement. Now you can see the shapes are moving around, but this is only happening on one slide. Now the purpose of the shuffler is to help you, to make you work faster and create quality work with PowerPoint, quality printables. So I'm not going to ask you that you create one slide and then click shuffle, another slide, then click shuffle. I'm going to give you an option to shuffle everything on the slide without clicking this button over and over again. You're going to use this button here, but what we must do before using this button is, let's go to this slide. I have all the shapes with a unique name, so everything here is a unique name, and now I'm going to use this one. Now there is a catch. You're going to say, Marina, okay, Marina, if you do this, the frame is going to be shuffled because this button is swapping everything on the slide, and this text box here is also going to get shuffled. Let's see, will that actually happen? So the text box was not affected, the frame, the box in behind is not affected. Why it was not affected? Because I cannot even move it. My program cannot move it, I cannot move it. I can click on this. I don't know, can you hear my mouse? Can you hear my mouse? You probably cannot hear my mouse because I'm using a filter, so my voice is sounding nice, and when you sound nice, that means that you are filtering everything else in the mic. So I'm clicking on the shapes, and shapes are giving me some action, but when I click on frame, nothing is happening. And the reason why nothing is happening, because this frame is actually inside the slide master. This is where I can move him, this is where I can do things to him. This is my slide master layout, and the name of this layout is puzzle 1. So in order to use that swap all button, everything that I do not want that button to touch, I'm going to put inside. So two options: either I'm going to put it here on a slide master layout, or option number 2, and that is what I usually used, is I create icons on a slide, create 100, 200 slides with those icons, then I duplicate that same slide, and then I use swap all button. It swaps all the icons randomly, and then I add this to each slide because I have that cool feature. Don't forget, the shuffler has this cool feature of paste it, that I can use to paste the frame and the text box on all the slides at the same time. So I would add these two boxes at the end of everything. So that is how you can create I Spy printables. And there is a task. You can pause the video if you want. Everyone has its pair, you see, but there are 3 of me. What am I? Every shape is duplicated twice, only one shape is duplicated 3 times. So that's a puzzle for you. So that is this slide, and this slide, one more time, has everything, every shape has a unique name. So that means clicking on these 2 buttons is not going to do anything. In fact, it's going to give me error because there is nothing to shuffle. But this slide, in this slide, what I did is I selected all the shapes, and I rename them. So every single shape here that you see, there are different shapes, but they have name Christmas 1, Christmas 2, Christmas 3, Christmas 4. And the snowflakes, their name is filler. So if I want to add some filler between the images, so the image looks more filled, now if I select swap all, what is going to happen? He's going to include the snowflakes, and I'm going to get one big, as you can see, mess. So that means this button is not the right one. Now I can use this one. Shuffle on this slide, where everything that has a similar name with number is going to be affected. Now pay close attention to the snowflakes. Do you see? The snowflakes are not moving, but everything else is moving because everything else has a similar name plus number. So that is how you create, and I can now duplicate this. So let's click on the slide, Control D, Control D couple of times. Okay, so now I have a couple of identical slides, and I'm going to hold Control key to select 4 of these slides, shuffle on all, and now I should have 4 different puzzles, 4 different slides, where everything is shuffled but the snowflakes are on the same spot. And now I can type, where is insert, text box, blah blah, text for puzzle blah. You see, I'm like super today. All the words are coming to me naturally at almost midnight. So this would be my puzzle task, and now I'm going to Control C to copy. I'm going to hold the rest of the slides, and the shuffler I'm going to click paste it, and now I have the task here and different puzzles here. Now once I do this, I cannot longer use this swap all, because if I use swap all or if I use this one, everything is going to be reshuffled again. So that is the logic behind shuffle buttons. These two, this one and swap all. So that was the feature of these buttons and puzzles. The same logic is for spiral as well. So for the spiral, once again you have this box where you can have numbers 15, 30, 45 and 70. The name of this box is text. That is what the shuffler is searching for. You can hide it, you can move it around, but you cannot delete it. And it doesn't need to have spiral text, it just needs number 15. So number 15 is what program needs to know that this is a slide to create a puzzle with 15 letters. The letters now have the name word 1, 2, 3, 4 because there's only one sentence. They do not have word 1, 1. It was not necessary. And everything else you can delete. So you only need 15 letter boxes and the number 15 box that has a name text, and then you can use the spiral, so spiral puzzle. So let's try spiral, insert new word, spiral game, 12 days to Sunday, I don't know, generate. Oh, it's too big. Okay, let's do this. Okay, and now 12 days to sun is on spiral. So if I need more letters, I will use this one, this one, this one. You can move the text boxes around. You can do whatever you want, as long as you do not delete one of the text boxes and as long as you have this box somewhere on this area. It doesn't have to be on the slide physically. You can hide it as well if you don't want to look at it, but it needs to be there, and it needs to have the same number as much as text boxes you have with this unique name. And now one more thing that I added to this presentation is this last slide. Now if you have new PowerPoint, you're probably going to wonder what is this, but people that have new PowerPoint, especially the 365 version, when they click on a shape, so shape format, shape outline, you see I have weight and then I have dashes, but the new PowerPoint also has this custom outline, custom shape. Now what I discovered, so this one, sketched. So what I discovered is if I manage to get from someone 3 shapes that have this outline applied, I can use it in all versions of PowerPoint. So this one has this first effect applied, this one has this second effect applied, and this one has this third effect applied. So if I press Ctrl D to duplicate, because I'm not going to touch the original, and if I want to change it to a shape, let's say heart, you see what do I get? I mean, I love this. You see how funky this heart is. So this is a normal heart, but the outline that is applied is this one, scribble. So I can change this to any shape. You see how this smiley looks like. But the benefit is that you have something that only people with 365 are using. Now you can use it. You can apply it to any shape. You can even create a shape, but this needs to be a starting point. You can duplicate and then change the shape and then use this feature. So if I want to insert shapes, smiley face, this is the normal smiley face I can create using my PowerPoint. And this is the smiley face that people with 365 can create by applying these 3 effects. But this is a cheat code that I discovered, that if you have these shapes, you can apply that effect even in older versions of PowerPoint. And now, before I end this video, I have one more feature very important to display in this first puzzle shuffler section, and that is clone object. Now in the tutorial number 1, I told you what clone object button is doing. It is replacing all shapes with one shape that you selected. I'm going to control copy this one and I'm going to put it here. Let's have it. It's just for backup. I'm not going to use it now. I just want to have it here. And I'm going to show you what this is. Now, I don't know, do you do printables for kids? If you do, then you know that this is a slide for do a dot art. So this is something that children are stamping with those big thick markers. So as you can see here, this is alphabet A, B, C, D. So I have letters, and this is pumpkin, and this is for Halloween. But now Halloween is over and I want to make this into a Christmas printable collection. How I can easily change this into Christmas? I have all the letters ready, everything is ready. All I need to do is change every single pumpkin with this Christmas present. So how I'm going to do that? I'm going to click on clone object with the present selected, replace object, and now it is asking me enter the name of shape object you want to replace and add a star to look in all slides. So if I want everything on every slide to be replaced with the present, I need to add a star at the end. So I want all the shapes named Halloween with a star to be replaced, and I'm going to click OK. Click OK one more time, And do you see what happened here? A, B, C, all the letters are now in the shape of the present. O, P, Q, R, and this is still do a dot image. And I have numbers at the back. So that is how in just a couple of seconds I created a brand new printable 36 slides, 36 pages with a new theme. So I just need to have an SVG image with a circle, with of course a dot, and then I replace everything. And what will happen if I use this one, if I hold this one, clone, now the name of all the shapes is present because I replaced all the Halloween shapes with present, and click OK. Do you see what I have now? A, B, C, D. You see, that is the usage of a clone button. That is how I'm using clone button, but there are plenty of more options how to use it, and I will show that in the following tutorials. This is just one of the examples because somebody who is right now working on a project of do a dot inside PowerPoint asked me, can shuffler be used for this feature? And as you just saw now, it can be used for this feature and it can be used very easily. So all you have to do is prepare the shapes with a dot and make sure that they all have the same name. Once you have them ready, all you have to do is create a different shape, and then you can easily replace all the shapes with the new shape and get brand new collection of printables. That's it for today. That's it for this tutorial number 2. As I said, there are plenty of more features, plenty more things to discover here, plenty more usages. Let's see what's going to happen if I click random color. Okay, so I get it. I know everybody is having a blast out of this feature, and I must admit, yes, it is a very cool feature. The random color fill. Okay, where was I? I'm getting distracted by my own program. Okay, that's it. Second tutorial is over. If you have any questions, ask me down below. If something is not clear, if you want me to explain something in depth, I will do that in next videos. Of course, the shuffler is still not available. I said that I will release it after all tutorials are released, or maybe the most important ones are released, so people actually get to learn how to use the shuffler before they purchase. That is my goal. That is what I'm doing here, because as you see here, shuffler is easy to use, but it requires some basic knowledge of PowerPoint and how to use PowerPoint, and especially how to rename the shapes and how to properly name the shapes inside PowerPoint. That's it. Until the next video, I'll see you down below in the comments. Stay safe, everybody.